President Trump has indicated that Marc Fogel's release from Russia could help bring an end to the war in Ukraine.
I think this could be the very important element. You could be a big part of it, actually, because it could be a big, important part of getting the war over with Ukraine.
And that's no small statement. For more on this, let's bring in CBS News senior foreign correspondent Holly Williams, joining us from our London bureau. Holly, what will be Ukraine's view of this, and are we any closer to bringing that war to an end?
Good morning, Errol. Well, Ukraine's leader, Volodymyr Zelensky, just did an interview with a UK newspaper, The Guardian, ahead of a meeting this week with Vice President J.D. Vance. Also remember that President Trump said on Friday that he would probably meet Zelensky this week. Now, throughout the US presidential campaign, Zelensky heard President Trump claim that he could end the war in Ukraine in 24 hours, although he didn't give too many details about how. And of course, so far that hasn't happened. But Zelensky also knows that more and more Ukrainians would like a ceasefire. A recent poll found that just over half of Ukrainians would now like to see an end to the fighting. But when we were just in Ukraine, many people told us they only want that if they can have security guarantees as well, to stop Russia reinvading their country at a later date. And that is really what Zelensky stressed in this interview. He said that any security guarantees had to involve the United States, that Europe couldn't do it by itself. And Zelensky has long stressed that what he really wants for Ukraine is NATO membership. And that would mean that the US, which is a NATO state, would potentially have to come to Ukraine's aid to defend Ukraine if it's attacked again in future. Now, look, Zelensky must be worried about some recent comments by President Trump on Fox News, in which he talked about how much money the US has given to Ukraine to support it, and said, quote, "They may be Russian someday, they may not be Russian someday, but we're going to have all this money in there and I want it back." Now, that will certainly play into fears in Ukraine that Trump could try to negotiate a deal with Vladimir Putin that redraws the map and hands over parts of Ukraine to Russia. In the interview, Zelensky said he seemed to be kind of appealing to the businessman in President Trump, talking about offering US companies lucrative reconstruction contracts, access to rare earths and investment concessions. So kind of a quid pro quo for US protection.
Yeah, and those rare earths, those minerals are in what is now that disputed territory. So a key component of the overall picture. Holly, great to have your update on this important issue. Thank you.